lessons I had in week 6 was about using easy ease with position when you make a little mistake. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm just going to make, actually we'll do a star just because it's more effective. Okay, so there's our star. I'm going to turn up my resolution back to full from when I was working 3D. And I changed back my settings in composition back to classic 3D just to save ourselves some time. So here's our star. So here's what happened in class. I'm going to press the P key on the layer. So, remember, always remember before you start your keyframing, fix your anchor point. You use the pan behind tool up here to change where your anchor point is. And I'm holding down the command key to snap it into the center because I want it to center. Alright, got my black arrow tool selected again back up here. I'm going to add a keyframe here. So this is the correct way of doing it. So let's say this is 7 seconds. So I'll just do this quickly. I'll go a second and a half right here. I'm going to move it to here. Now, what the student had wanted was, let's pretend they wanted it here for 2.5 seconds. The correct way to do that is to go 2.5 seconds into time. So I'll just make that an even 4 seconds, even though I'm 1 frame off. And use the add keyframe right there between the two arrows. The go back keyframe or go forward. That's where you add. And then it moves again like that. That's what they wanted to happen. So what they would have done then is select all the keyframes, hover over one, right click, keyframe easy ease. So it moves. Since this is the same value as that, it stays there, and then it moves again. That's what they had wanted to do. So I'm going to hide that layer. What they'd done, I'm going to make a circle this time. I'll change the color. Let's make it blue. Alright. Now remember, change your anchor point before you start your keyframing. Always do that. I'm going to hold down the command key, snap it to the center. So what had happened in class was they started their keyframing. So that's the first keyframe. Then they went here and they moved it. Come on. Oh, I don't have my black arrow selected. Now I do. Alright, so then they moved it. They forgot that they wanted it to stay there for a certain amount of time. And they said, okay, this is where I want it to move next. So they moved it again, selected all their keyframes, hovered over, easy eased them. So then when they played it back, it went up here, and it did not stay there. It started moving. And then they realized, oh no, what do I do? Well, unless you want to redo all your keyframing, you could have something more complex here. I'm just going to go 1 frame forward. That's page down, or you can do it numerically up here. It was at 1.15. That's where it was. You can just type in 1:16, and you're there. Now, I'm going to add a keyframe. I'm going to zoom in just so you can see what I'm doing. I'm using the zoom in down here by the mountain icon. Hover over, right click, toggle hold keyframe. Now remember, toggle hold keyframes will hold it there until the next keyframe says, hey, here's what I want you to do. So now the animation is going to where they want it. It's staying there until the next keyframe, and it jumped right over. So that's not what we're looking for. So what we're going to do is, they wanted to start about here, so I'll add a keyframe, and it's easy eased already. So now it's going to stop right there till the next keyframe and move again. So we're using the hold because if we put another keyframe in, you're going to get some goofy movement, and you don't want that. So I'm holding it in between these two keyframes until the next one, and now you got the animation that you wanted, similar to the one before. And I know they're not lining up exactly, but that's pretty amazing that I did that just blindly. But that's basically what they did in 2 different ways. This, watch the value of the position. This position is the exact same as that one because I did add keyframe rather than move it. So it's exactly the same. And up here, we forgot about, so we added a toggle hold 1 frame later, then went to the time we wanted to move, added a keyframe. It automatically became easy eased, and the motion carried out the way that they'd wanted it.